In the heart of the Whispering Woods, nestled between ancient, moss-covered mountains, lay a cavern known to the local villagers as the Echoing Cave. It wasn't famous for its size or its treasures, but for a peculiar phenomenon. Any sound made within its depths would return, but not as a simple echo. It returned, transformed, twisted into words of doubt and despair. A cheerful laugh would come back as a mocking sneer. A confident shout would return as a fearful whisper. For generations, the villagers warned their children away from it. The cave holds a spiteful spirit, they'd say. It feeds on joy and turns it into sorrow. And so, the cave remained a place of fear, a dark blot on the otherwise serene landscape. One day, a young woman named Elara decided she'd had enough of the fear. She wasn't a warrior or a mage, just a simple weaver with a steady hand and a curious heart. She believed that everything in nature had a purpose, a story, and the cave couldn't be purely evil. Armed with nothing but a lantern and her own resolve, she walked the winding path to the cave's entrance. As she stepped inside, a cold draft greeted her. The air was thick with silence. Taking a deep breath, she called out, "Hello." The sound bounced off the damp stone walls and returned to her, not as a friendly greeting, but as a chilling question. "Who are you to be here? Alone?" Elara felt a shiver run down her spine, but she stood her ground. She thought about the villagers' warnings, the tales of people who entered the cave happy and left brokenhearted. She decided to try something different. Instead of projecting strength or joy, she decided to offer vulnerability. "I am just Elara." She spoke softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm a little scared, but I'm also very curious." She waited. The echo that returned was softer this time, less menacing. "Scared. Curious. Why?" Elara was surprised. The echo had never engaged in conversation before. It had only ever mocked. She continued, speaking from her heart. "I believe there's more to you than just spite. I want to understand you." She spent hours in that cave, not making loud noises, but speaking gently. She told the cave about her life, her dreams of weaving tapestries that told the stories of the stars, her fears of failing, her hopes for her village. With each confession, the echoes that returned grew less distorted. The mocking tone faded, replaced by something that sounded almost like listening. Finally, she asked the question that had been burning in her mind. "Why do you turn happiness into sadness?" The silence that followed was longer than before. When the echo finally came, it was a collage of sounds, a symphony of all the voices that had ever entered the cave. It was the sound of 1,000 heartbreaks, 100 fears, a dozen lonely cries, all layered together. The cave wasn't a spiteful spirit. It was a vessel, a repository of all the negative emotions that had been thrown into it over the centuries. It didn't create despair. It simply reflected the pain it had absorbed. Elara understood. The cave was like a person who had been hurt so many times that they could only expect more hurt. It had learned to twist joy into sorrow as a defense mechanism. From that day on, Elara visited the cave regularly, but she didn't go alone. She brought others with her, not to shout or laugh, but to sit in quiet contemplation. They shared stories, sang soft lullabies, and spoke words of kindness and healing into the darkness. They didn't try to drown out the old echoes of pain. Instead, they added new layers of warmth, compassion, and understanding. Slowly, miraculously, the cave began to change. The echoes softened. A gentle hum might return as a soothing melody. A whispered word of hope might come back amplified, filling the cavern with encouragement. The Echoing Cave was no longer a place of fear. It became a sanctuary, a place of healing, where the villagers learned a valuable lesson. That sometimes, the darkest places don't need to be conquered with light, but healed with empathy. The greatest echo we can create is one of kindness. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Until next time.